Hello everyone and welcome to our channel. We have Lisa, a good friend of mine. Welcome again to our channel.
Thank you so much for having me, Alice.
We're so happy to see you. And today we will be talking about, should you sell your property first or buy the property?
That is the loaded question that everybody wants answers to.
Very loaded, yeah.
So I say it's entirely contingent on your unique circumstances. Now, in the event that you are upsizing, for example, and you are relying on the sale of your current home to determine your budget, then it would make sense to sell first and then buy after the fact.
Interesting, yeah.
Right?
Okay, so well, we both are dealing like I guess on both sides of the fence, right?
For sure.
And sometimes some sellers are not being realistic.
That is another
factor,
factor,
right?
Yeah.
Like they want last year's pricing, and maybe they're not even getting offers like that are not what they're looking for, right? Mm-hmm. So then it is obviously well, if they're in the market, it is better to know what's going on, right? So to put the house on sale and see what's going on. And then keep an eye out on the buy-in, right?
For sure. Now, another factor is, let's say you have empty nesters that are downsizing, and they know that on the sale of their home, they'll be able to live mortgage-free. That's a different scenario, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
In terms of buying and selling combined, it's irrelevant because whether you buy when the market is hot or you buy and you sell when the market is not, it's a wash. You just don't want to get into the type of situation where you sell when the market is low and then all of a sudden you're buying when the market has shifted
upwards. Have you seen a
right?
pickup?
I've definitely seen a pickup.
In the, let's say, last 2 weeks.
I have. March break was a little slower, but this weekend I was hosting open houses. The Saturday was nonstop. I had a lot of people, a lot of traffic coming through, which is excellent.
Why do you think that is? I mean, like if are they buying first? Why weren't they buying first 2 weeks ago?
Well,
like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, I hear you. I think, like in my case, the listing where I was hosting my open house, it is a house that would be suitable for first-time buyers.
Okay.
And so I think that in that particular category, a lot of them were just sitting in the sidelines waiting to see what would happen with interest rates, waiting to see what would happen with pricing. And it's pretty clear at this point that prices are now on the rise. And so I think that that's incentivizing them to get out there and start looking seriously for their next home, right?
Because they kept the interest rates the same, like they didn't move it, like they put a pause. There's huge change. Like most of us, like I'm speaking for myself at this point, couldn't anticipate this much action in such a short period of time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And people are just out there. They're offering. Mind you, whether the offers are realistic at this point or not, it's a debatable question.
Yep.
But there's activity. Let's put it that way. So what would you say? So what would you say in a scenario where you have a listing, and it happens more than you think? You start looking at homes, and they like a house and they want to put an offer. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's always the different, like, how do you guide these people through the process? Like, you know what I mean?
Right now, the biggest challenge that I'm experiencing is bridging the gap between the seller's expectations, where in a lot of cases they want peak of the market pricing, and the buyers looking for the best deal.
Right.
So there's a lot required on our part from a negotiation standpoint, and really working well with the cooperating agent and providing them with information, talking points that they can take back to their clients. And obviously we do what we can on our end as well, but it's tough.
Yeah, and a lot of some clients of ours, like they do understand, but some don't. Like And I believe at this point, like even some agents don't understand. I mean, we have the data.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes we have the data before the public, before the news, before everybody, because we're immersed in the numbers. We know the pulse, we know the activity, we know we have listings, we're dealing with buyers, we know the banks, we know everything, right? So moving forward is like, we know the data. You know, there are some unrealistic people with their listings, you know what I mean, just trying to shoot for the moons. And we can correct that by knowing and negotiating and protecting our buyers at this point, right?
I find it really helpful to pull the data first, send it off to my clients, and then having the conversation afterwards to reinforce the data. Because having a conversation alone isn't enough right now, especially because the market is so
rapid, fast.
It's constantly changing, right?
It's very fast.
So yeah, and with the news headlines too, right now, they're working in our favor, which is an added bonus, but I find that they are not real time either. They're usually a month or a few weeks to a month
That's what I said.
delayed, right?
We kind of get that information, or we feel it out first.
Exactly.
Let's put it that way. We feel it out first, and then we kind of like, right? So we know, and then I believe that the trust between a realtor and their clients, it's I would say it's a must at this point, because 100%. Like, you know what we say, it almost like we cannot predict 100%, but we have a pretty good feeling. Yeah. So I had a couple of situations, and I don't know if I'm sure you can relate to it. Clients seeing, like, let's say we go out shopping, pre-approved, we know the budget, we know everything, and the first showing we see, me as an agent, I tell them buy it, because it is perfect, fits your criteria, fits everything, fits,
good
and
price.
They say, yeah, we'll pass. And then we go out for the next 20, 30 showings home. I don't mind, but we cannot find that replacement, the first love that they kind of like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Have you ever had that?
I have, yeah. Working with first-time buyers, that's pretty much a given.
Because sometimes they think like, oh, you just want to show one property and make a commission. No, I see a good deal when I see it. Whether it's the first property or the 47th, but I see it.
Sometimes though, we just have to go through the process of getting them to see it. And in a lot of instances, it takes losing out on that first house to realize, shoot, I need to really listen to the direction from my realtor, because he or she is genuinely looking out for what is in my best interest.
Right. So to kind of summarize, to summarize everything. So what do you think? Where will this direction kind of go? I know it's a loaded question, and I'm not trying to for you to forecast or to, you know, it's just your opinion.
For
like
sure.
April the 12th, we will see, you know.
I would love to see a decrease, but I think
decrease in interest rates.
In interest rates, but I think more realistically,
what would that do to the market?
Well, that would have a very positive impact on the market.
It would just go nuts.
I think that it would, for sure.
Right.
But realistically, I anticipate that things will remain at a standstill.
Steady.
Yep.
Standstill.
I think interest rates will not decrease or increase. They'll just remain the same.
Remain flat.
And that too will have a positive impact.
I think so too.
On the market.
Yeah. So we just spoke this morning with other colleagues in the office and stuff like that, and the inflation from the understanding here is that it went down.
It's coming down.
Right. So I don't think they have a reason to increase the interest rates at this point. So they'll remain flat. And for you out there, the real estate is heated already. It's not heating up, it is heated. There are multiple offers on properties probably in your neighborhood. And I'm sure you see more sold signs when you're driving in your car and whatnot. So I would say the message here would be, if you're ready to make a move, just make the move.
Now is the time.
Now is
no
the time.
time like the present.
Yeah, and we kept saying it, a few months ago. Market is at all-time low. Buy the property. And they're like, no, we're just gonna wait another year.
Yeah.
It's gonna go another 20%.
Yeah.
It's not. Like, we kind of know when the bottom is kind of, there.
Yeah.
So we kind of feel it. So is there anything else you want to add to this, or we pretty much covered, right?
Yeah. I mean, lastly, I'll just say I'm really looking forward to seeing the data for the month of March once we finish off the month.
It would be interesting, yeah.
Because January to February we saw an increase of 5.5%. I am assuming it's going to be very similar going into this next month.
Okay, I guess we will find out next month. Thank you all for watching, and see you soon.